Yo, what's up, flaggots? Graphic design is my passion. Being queer is also my passion. So for Pride Month, I thought I'd celebrate and combine the two in a desperate attempt to garner myself some sort of meaning in life. That's right, today I'm going to be doing a ranking of LGBTQ pride flags based on their designs. I have to stress, this is not me ranking sexualities and identities themselves. That would be psychotic. This is just going over flags based purely on a visual design and kind of symbolism, artistic sort of perspective. So, let's begin. The original pride flag was designed by Gilbert Baker in 1978, and it's a classic. Although the standard pride flag that was later adopted with less colours does get the point across, I think, in a better, more streamlined way, I do really have a soft spot for the hot pink at the very top of this one. It's pretty cool. The turquoise and the violet too, they're okay, I guess. A tier. And this is that more streamlined, kind of basic design that I was talking about, the one that pretty much everyone knows. It's still plastered everywhere, even in the mid-2020s, with even a hint of fruitiness about the place. This one is a classic. S tier. Next we have something a bit more obscure, the Philadelphia pride flag, which you may be thinking, that's nothing to be proud of coming from Philadelphia, and you're right. But in actuality, it's actually relating to the non-white POC communities of the city, and that's a much more admirable and great message to get across, but it looks like they just haphazardly stuck brown and black stripes on top of a rainbow, which just doesn't really look great. It doesn't gel well with the original design, so this one is unfortunately going in D tier. Now this one, the Progress Pride flag, works much better from both an inclusivity and design perspective to me. I love the chevron on the left poking its way into the iconic rainbow, but not to an absurd degree. It still gives the old rainbow room to breathe, and I like the way the colours sort of get darker from white on the left to black on the right. It creates a nice sort of gradient. When this one started kind of appearing in a lot of places, I didn't really like it because I thought it just made the design overall too complex, too cluttered. But after just getting used to it, and over the years it's like slowly become adopted to become pretty widely used alongside the original rainbow, I have grown to really like on it, and I think if you're still on the fence about it, with time, hopefully you will too. S tier. Nothing against intersex people though, but I just don't really think the yellow with your flag fits well on top of this. Triangle, I think it would have been better to put the yellow probably between the trans flag and POC sections to represent intersex people. This one to me does go into looking a bit too cluttered territory, and that's a shame, so it's only going in A tier. Now we come to the queer flag, which I had no idea was a thing until actually researching this video, so that's kind of cool. I'm glad I know about this now because I actually really like it. The color scheme is really eye-catching and pleasing, and the symbolism is cool too. The pinks and blues represent same-gender attraction, orange and green represents non-binary genders, and black and white represents the ace, aro, and agender spectrums. It was made by someone called Pastel Meme on DeviantArt in 2015, and they did a pretty damn good job if I do say so myself. S tier. Now, when it comes to the lesbian flag, unfortunately the original lipstick lesbian flag was made by a racist transphobe, so not really gonna discuss that here. The variant you see more often nowadays was created in the 2010s, and I think it just works much better. It's called the sunset flag, which, sunsets, lesbians, two of the greatest things on planet Earth together, what's not to love? I think I prefer the 7-stripe version to the 5-stripe version just because it's more colourful, but I think both are pretty great. I'm putting the 7-stripe version in S tier and the 5-stripe version in A tier. Now there's two versions of the sapphic flag. This version was created by Tumblr user Lesbian, I think that's how you pronounce it, in October 2015. Ever since Sappho herself was writing gay poetry so yearnful it would make even the most limerent lesbians blush, violets have been a long-standing symbol of queer women and their attraction, and this is a really nice way to incorporate that into a flag. However, something I didn't really consider until my best friend Lucy, who also helped me with the writing of this video, pointed out to me is that this does make it a little harder to draw, and that is an important element of flag design. You want it to be easily repeatable. So because of that, I'm gonna put it in A tier, even though if we wouldn't be considering that, it would definitely be an S tier because I really, really like it. For that reason, there's also a simplified version out there in existence, and I really like this one too, so that's also going in A. Next is the gay flag, as in the gay male flag, MLM, but not pyramid schemes, you know what I mean. This one, with gay men kind of being the opposite side of the spectrum to lesbian women, is basically just an inverted lesbian flag, so it's a very simple idea, but I kind of really like that, so this is going in A tier. And now, the bisexual flag. Oh my god, it's just perfect. The middle purple stripe being smaller than the rest makes sense, as it's kind of representing the overlap, the blurriness between liking two genders. That's just really clever, I really like that. It's a subtle, neat detail. Someone cooked here. S tier. Now, functionally, I'm like attracted to anyone of any gender, so I guess I'm pansexual, but for a long time I've identified it as bisexual just because I think the bisexual flag and its color scheme is so much better than the pan flag. I mean, this isn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not the best looker in this flurry of flags. I think the color scheme is a little mismatched and just doesn't really flow well together, so C tier. The asexual flag has pretty good color choices and formatting, not really much to say here, B tier. And the demisexual flag is pretty much just a kind of rejig and adaptation of the asexual flag, and I really like the unique design here. It makes it a lot more interesting to look at, so A tier. And now we come to the polyamory flags. The first polyamory flag sucked. It was designed by a guy called Jim Evans in 1995 using web-safe colors and Microsoft Paint. You can tell. Now, some people interpret the pi symbol being used as representative of an infinite capacity for love, which is quite sweet and, you know, thematic and appropriate for the flag, but in actuality, it was just used because pi and polyamory both start with the letter P. That's it. Wow. Honestly, the color choices here remind me of it's kind of like a military state in the Balkans flag, you know, like I'd expect to see this flying atop a government building in southeastern Europe or something like that. F tier. The more recent and modern, kind of widely adopted polyamory flag designed in 2022 by Red Howl is really good actually, though. It's on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I love the design and the color choices, so it's going in S. Keeping the subject on poly things, I hardly ever hear about anyone identifying as polysexual, especially not recently. It's kind of like the underrated hidden gem of the LGBT community. Yes, the three genders, girl, boy, and slime. Yeah, green being used here to represent the sort of non-binary genders is unorthodox and interesting, but I feel like that makes it unique compared to other flags, so I actually kind of like it. B tier. And here we are with the Barlow flag, a classic design. The green and blue are delightful reminders of the nature and flowers that bees surround themselves with, and the purple is actually a clever but subtle reference to the Honey Queen from Mario Kart 7, the greatest character in all of racing games. Appropriately, this is going in B tier. And now we move on to the trans flag. It's so versatile, you can get a lot of different meanings out of it, and that's the sign of any good flag, I think, or any sort of design to represent a community. I think the trans flag is one of the most effective and ubiquitous and iconic ways to represent a community, and I really like it. S tier. I swear I'm not biased. Maybe. Wait, what the fuck's this one?
It's the Israeli trans flag.
The what? I really like the colors used in the non-binary flag. I've seen quite a few people say that they feel random and kind of out of place and not really designed very well, but I couldn't disagree more. I think this is really pleasing on the eyes. A tier. The intersex flag, created by Morgan Carpenter in 2013, I already liked for its design, just kind of looking at it, and you know, the purple and the yellow contrast against each other really well. But then I read into what the circle means, and quote, "The circle was chosen because it is unbroken and unornamented, symbolizing wholeness and completeness and our potentialities. We are still fighting for bodily autonomy and genital integrity, and this symbolizes the right to be who and how we want to be." Yeah, honestly, this is the most sincere this video is gonna get. That is fucking beautiful. S tier. Like with the non-binary flag, the gender fluid flag, I think the color choices create a really nice gradient from top to bottom. A tier. There's not really much to say about the gender queer flag either. I think the lavender and green complement each other nicely. B tier. The gender fuck flag, yes, the gender fuck flag, keep up, is perfect. It's a skull in purple, the best color on planet Earth. This is the most badass thing I've seen in my life. S tier. Okay, so with the agender flag, I get why green was chosen. It's like the opposite of purple, and purple is pink and blue mixed together, so it's kind of like saying that agender people exist outside of the gender binary. I get that. I like that bit of symbolism. Just from a design standpoint, though, I do not like the way it looks. I just think it looks kind of just not really well thought out, unfortunately. So I'm putting this in C tier. The bi-gender flag is kind of the inverse of the bisexual flag, with instead of the pink and blue meeting in the middle and overlapping, they're drifting further apart from each other, and I really, really fuck with that, like, kind of thematically. It's really fitting and a cool design with all the various shades and tones. S tier. Okay, so the demi-gender flag and all of its umbrellas are kind of largely similar to each other. I think the demi-gender flag itself is pretty cool. I like the yellow stripes. B tier. The demi-boy flag, I like the blue stripes. Putting it in B tier. And then we have the demi-girl flag, and I kind of really fuck with the pink stripes here. They look cool. B tier. There's really not much for me to say about all these. They're all extremely similar, and I just kind of like the base design, but I mean, it's not going to save my marriage. Nothing will. The Pride of Africa flag is kind of representative. It's kind of borrowing iconography and ideas from all 54 African countries, and this is so cool. The way that like the words and like the lettering is laid out makes it seem so abstract and artistic, and I just really, 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 really think it's cool. It's going in S tier. The POC Pride flag, at least this design of one that's on this website that I found most of these from, is really cool. I like the way the rainbow intersects with the various skin tones, like the stripes on the hand, and of course, you know, the hand's in a raised fist, and the raised fist is such a powerful and iconic visual thing. It's really great. A tier. And then finally we have the Two-Spirit flag, which I also think just looks really cool. A tier. Phew, okay, well that was me looking at a smattering of pride flags. I couldn't begin to look at like all of them, especially like ones that people have just made and put on the internet, like on DeviantArt or Tumblr or stuff like that, because if I did that as a video, it'd literally be like 6 hours long at least. Tell you what, if I ever get to 1 million subs in 2067, I'll make that video. But for now, I just wanted to look at a kind of most famous or well-known ones. Like I did mention, there were a few of these I didn't know about, and that's because I looked at the this link. I've forgotten the link, I don't know it off by heart, so there you go. But I'll put it in the description because it's got like kind of high-res versions and kind of explanations of these various flags, and I think that's really neat. And also to look into kind of the symbolism and kind of artistic, kind of the stories, like the artists of these flags. I used Wikipedia, and I also used the LGBTQIA+ fandom wiki. Yeah, I know it's a fandom site. Just use an ad blocker and you'll hopefully get out unscathed. So yeah, I'll put links to those in the description if anyone wants to check them out. And I think that's it. Happy Pride Month. Oh wait, hold on. There was actually one more that I forgot to mention. Whoops. It's this one. You all know where it's going.